What's going on, guys? So, as you will be aware, this episode was actually recorded before Thanksgiving. So, thank God everything was good. We got to meet with family. None of us got COVID. We had a safe time just hanging out with family. Also, so you guys are aware, there was some audio issues during the recording. So, be patient and hope you guys enjoy. Pass a smile, and we'll see you guys later.
Eh,
Nice. Is it raining over there? Had you hit
Oh
any?
yeah,
Oh man.
it's nice and bright out now, but it was raining earlier today and yesterday.
Oh yeah, that's right. Because it was supposed to rain Friday, and then today.
Yeah.
Did you have like
So,
fun?
oh yeah. Uh, well, I got off work last night and I was driving home and it started to like drizzle a little bit, and so I was like, oh, it's gonna rain, and I think I'd gotten home and wasn't home for more than like 10 minutes and just downpour outside. So there was that. What about you? How is it? I forget exactly where you are. You're
United States of America, California, to be specific.
yes. I know that much, but I forget exactly what college you're going to.
So I'm currently in the city of Rockland. So it's the neighborhood would next to it would be Roseville and Sacramento.
Okay,
A little not too far.
no,
Though
not too far at all.
it rained today, this morning, and then it's supposed to rain next week. So that's exciting.
You're cutting out a little bit. Hold on one second.
My bad. I'm still working with mic.
I was still working with your mic.
Yeah, my mic's not in top shape.
Ooh, that's not
It,
good.
yeah, it'd be like that though.
Mm. So what was it? We're gonna talk about remote holidays, I
Remote
believe,
holidays.
what you told me.
Yeah, it's a little confusing though. It kind of popped in my head because last week was
Yeah.
Halloween. So what? Obviously, with everything going on, we weren't many people weren't able to go door to door, the traditional trick or
Yeah,
treat.
no. We didn't see any over here. It was like one of my mother's friends came over and she brought over like she brought candy. We were together and we were like it was in plastic bags, all sanitized, ready to be given out if a kid came up, but no one showed up. So, but that's to be expected, obviously, because well, not everybody should be going out and about right now, obviously.
Definitely, yeah, it's crazy times, and it just gets better and better.
Yeah, and the next three holidays, I guess, are the big ones. They're the Thanksgiving, which is a big family holiday that everyone gets together, and then it's Christmas, and then it's New Year's. Or- Yeah, so the question I've already expected to be really busy in my work for Thanksgiving at least, because you know where I work, right, Mario, or no?
I know
I
you
don't
work
remember
at
if I ever told you.
a grocery store. I forgot the name of it. I want to say like it's Stater Brothers, isn't it?
Yeah, I work in the meat department, so I have to deal with all the turkeys and everything like that right now.
Ooh, how's
So
that going? I didn't know you worked in the meat department.
yeah, it's going okay right now. It's I'm a little worried about what's coming up because well, because of the fact that nobody can go into like a big family meeting, you can't do that right now. So it's going to be individual families now, and it's Thanksgiving, and what does everybody have on Thanksgiving? Turkey. And I hope to God that either the turkeys are because the turkeys we don't like keep them on like display in our case. They're like out in our self service. So it's all just moving them over there for the most part. It's just the fact of the matter is that these things are 15 pounds each, and I think there are four to a box. I think.
So
No, they're
just
like
one.
15 to 30 pounds each, I believe. Yeah, like the small, like their average about 15 to 20 pounds, 16 pounds. Highest I've ever seen one was like a 30-pound turkey. It was huge.
Jesus, that's gonna fill a family for sure.
Yeah. So you're gonna have large ones. You're gonna have small ones, obviously. I'm just hoping that mm, either people are smart enough to know that hey, you're not gonna need a whole turkey to feed a family of five, or that everyone's I don't know. I'm just hoping not to get killed in my job is all. So,
Well, you have
but
benefits,
I
so.
feel like things. Oh, sorry.
Oh no, you're good. I was just making a bad joke.
Oh, well, all bad jokes are good anyway. But I feel like it won't feel quite the same. Honestly, is that since everyone's always remembered Thanksgiving and will probably continue to be remembered as a big family holiday. I feel like, especially the adults that are gonna be like that use Thanksgiving and Christmas as an excuse to leave whatever busy life they have and go visit family for a week or two. That's what a lot of that's what Thanksgiving and Christmas is for a lot of adults. It's you take a break from working or take a break from doing wherever you are, and if you're away from the family, you go back you or if you're near family, you enjoy the holidays with them. And I feel like that'll be a lot harder now that everyone's forced to stay distant.
Not to mention too, like how you mentioned with food. Usually, when Thanksgiving and Christmas, there's a lot of finances that go into these holidays. With
Yeah,
people, with obviously we're still currently in this pandemic.
yeah,
There's that lack of finances what people are still struggling with. Though it's that situation. Do I want to spend time with family and enjoy what we have, or do I am I going to pay the bills so we have some place to stay? It's
yeah. It's
unfortunate.
that. Yeah, that's the thing that is that my family's at least fortunate enough to be well off enough to be that we do still have to think about that. Obviously, it's not as world ending as it is for probably some other families that are a lot less well off and are a lot more all right, let's say cutting close to the edge right now for what they have. So yeah, and then yeah, this is always like, and then you also have to think about this is the biggest like commercial time of like the entire year. This is the point where everyone gets like this is where half of the freaking our economy gets like a big boost at the end of this because everyone goes out and buys things at this time of year.
That's right.
And
You have
since
like Black Friday and stuff too. I didn't think about
yeah,
that
like
American holiday.
where everyone goes out and tries and gets stuff. I feel like Black Friday is just gonna turn into Cyber Monday. Like honestly, that's what it's gonna happen this year. There's no going around it. It's just easier and more convenient and safer right now to just not go to a store and just order it online and order it from a closed store. It's the big problem is that with online, it really doesn't matter what everyone's gonna order from like this very similar, if not the same companies. It's like Amazon and a lot of the other major companies that have good like online sales or decent like in delivery. Like those are like the big things that everybody's gonna be looking for like holidays this year, aren't they? It's like you can't go out to the store and get a small toy for your nephew. You have to order it from online because you can't. So there's that. What
That
about
is
you?
that is true, and not to mention too, you mentioned something about a toy. I was actually watching. I saw a tweet because apparently we need to have Twitter. Well, we are given an opportunity to use Twitter for teaching. That
Oh,
I saw a parent made a comment that because we're being home for such a long time, it's many children actually don't even want a toy that because they have so much family time.
I'm sorry, you cut out that last part. I didn't quite hear it.
Oh, so I was talking about that many children they don't want to have toys because obviously we're home a lot more, and there's just more quality time. So many children don't really want new toys. Does that make sense?
Yeah, they're gonna want something else. Yeah, they're gonna want to go out to go do something, aren't they? Oh, hello.
Hello there. Let me see if
Sorry. Uh, yeah, I'm not sure. I haven't.
So this is actually one of
Sorry,
my
sorry for being a few minutes late.
this is actually one of
Okay.
my good friend from school. This is Jack. So I don't know if you want to
Absolutely.
introduce yourself a little bit.
Yes, my name is Jack McCormick. I am a junior at Jessup here, and
Awesome. So pretty much Nicholas and I were just kind of talking about the different holidays. We jumped from Thanksgiving and we
okay,
went a little bit into Christmas because Nicholas actually works at Stater Brothers. He works in the meat department. So
Okay.
just seeing how obviously not a lot of families are able to meet with each other.
yeah.
We're kind of doing more small families.
hmm
So what do you think about how Thanksgiving would be rolling out?
This year?
Yeah.
Well, wait, for me or for just in general?
Let's go with in general and then probably like your
Okay. I think Thanksgiving in general is probably going to be it's going to be a little different. I'm just from observation, I'm assuming it's going to be a little bit different than last year, but I don't see it being on average much different than in the past. Maybe when it comes to certain family members, maybe like a smaller crowd, but I still think it's going to be like the same things before, just less people. That's just my guess.
Okay.
Okay.
Nice.
And awesome.
No, it actually reminded me too. I was actually looking up on the internet, looking because obviously with Thanksgiving, there's two big things that people think about besides turkey and family. There's football and the parade. The parades,
Yeah.
the par-
What about that?
yeah, usually with the parades, people take they start like in January, if not when the parade ends, then they start right away the next week. So it takes such a long time.
Yeah.
Let me know, Nicholas, do you have any experience with parades? Thanksgiving parades? You still there, Nick?
Sorry about that.
Oh no, you're good. I didn't realize your audio was low too.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So what do you think about the parades? Do you have any experience with the Thanksgiving parades?
Not Thanksgiving parades. When I was younger, I worked on the Rosemead Parade a little bit, if I remember correctly. My uncle took me to go work on it. But honestly, I don't have much high hopes for the parade. If I haven't seen any sort of like talking about it on any sort of like anybody really talking about it, because it's such a big public thing, and I don't think that I don't. Is it publicly funded or is it privately funded? I don't remember. Do you guys know?
I don't know.
No,
Maybe it's a mix of both. I don't know.
probably a mix of both. Because, well, like no, wait, no. Usually it's like what Macy's, like or whatever company's funding it. I'm guessing it's privately funded by a company. My best guess. And honestly, it's like I don't think they'd be able to get the clearance from the government for the pandemic to be able to do it. Honestly,
Especially New York.
especially New York.
Especially New York City.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I know the United States is not doing well right now, but I'd hope that at least with the holidays and everything, we'd all kind of at least forget what's going on for long enough to
Yeah.
hopefully let us come up with a game plan and pass it. But what
Yeah.
about you guys? What is it? The parade and football? Because what baseball did a really quick like a season, like what was it, 3 weeks or something like that? Can't remember.
It was really quick. I'm not
It was
sure.
really quick.
I just know that the
Like
Dodgers played like a back-to-back game. Yeah.
they played back to back. They won the World Series. They did a bunch of stuff. I remember like it was really big for like 2 weeks at least because every time I would go into work at like 5, 6 o'clock when the game started, it died. There was nobody in the store after that. Like everyone, like there would be a bunch of people before 5 o'clock, and there would be a bunch of people after 9, or not a bunch of people, but some people after 9. but there would just be like anybody from 5 to 9. There was almost nobody in the store. That was during baseball.
Yeah.
For football,
We're done.
I'm not sure because football's a lot more is like a way more like full contact sport. Like obviously you guys know what like football's full contact, obviously. So it's a lot harder to justify that you're not going to be able to get sick because baseball, well, there is some contact in it. You're generally it's quick touches. You're not going to be full on right next to each other all the time. You're usually spread out on a field, so it's quite easy to get away with like, oh, you're not going to get sick from being that close to each other
Not to
for that
mention,
long.
in football, sorry to cut you off. Not to mention in football, though, like if you think about it, there's a lot more players on a football team
Oh
than
yeah,
baseball. So
oh
the
definitely.
chances of someone getting COVID is much greater. Yeah, in
And
football.
as soon as one person gets it, if they're doing it as quickly as baseball, if one person got it, then the entire league would have it then because of how closely you're packed together. Like, and then you have, and then when they go back to their lockers and everything, there would be no, you wouldn't be able to protect against it. Like when this thing first started, didn't a bunch of football players get it or something because they were really arrogant, like, oh, it doesn't matter, and then and then like a bunch of them got it because one person on the team got it. Thought that was a news story that came out earlier.
I do know I do know in soccer it was pretty like it happened pretty big. There's a couple of players on a team that tested positive because they're small, a little arrogant. So
Yeah,
that kind of reminded me too, kind of moving on from sports to the holidays. What do you guys think of New Year's? How would that be celebrated?
that's a hard one because New Year's, you're thinking of New York, Times Square, like everyone, like you don't have a foot of your own personal space over there.
Say that again?
New York, Times Square, you wouldn't have your like a foot of space like at all.
That is true too. Well, that and I also forgot to like in New York there's always like ball drop, right?
Yeah. I think they might still do the ball drop. It's just not going to be a lot of people there, probably.
Possibly.
That's my prediction.
I feel like there'll still be people that want New Year's to be the New Year to start. And
Yeah.
COVID would like jokingly saying COVID would end at 2021.
Yeah, it's crazy. Wow. I just can't believe all this since March, and now it's almost the end of the year. It's Christmas
Yeah.
practically, and it's been since March. Like this time is just this massive amount of time. Like it really feels like a long year, yet it also feels like a short year because
Yeah,
this whole thing is the fact that this has been going on this long is like it's like seasons ahead, like almost a year has been going on.
yeah, because yeah. And I don't even think anything would much change when it hit 2021, would it? As we'd still be in the middle of the pandemic.
My hope is if it's at its worst, that it would end by next summer.
Next summer? Oof.
If we have to bear it in 2021, I want to say I hope that at the most it would be at least, or at the most half a year. I'm really hopeful that it would just not be there at all in 2021 and we wouldn't have all these restrictions. But if it has to be, then it's summer. Ended at summer.
Yeah.
The
The question. No, sorry, Mario. Go ahead. You haven't spoken that much, so go ahead.
I do my best not to speak as much. No, but you mentioned like if it goes in the summer. I'm curious. Like, God forbid this does go in the summer. We actually will have a statistics on how we're doing with COVID because obviously it will be a full year.
That's true. We'll have.
Yeah, that would be true. The other thing I think we have to hope for is the vaccine, don't we? What was it?
One thing I'm really concerned about just kind of with medical history, just what are the risks with this? Because obviously, sure, we'll be unaffected, but we have a higher chance of not getting covered with the vaccine. Though obviously we know from experience with different medications, not saying from all vaccines, though there are side effects. What are the
Yeah,
side effects and how long will those side effects take effect?
Mhm.
That's what I'm more concerned about, more than anything. Because 10,
it,
20, 30 years down the line,
yeah, that would be a big thing.
yeah.
The whole thing about vaccinations is that we do have quite a bit of we do have quite a metric of like how many and what effects they have generally. At least general effects from vaccine to vaccine. They aren't all the same, obviously, as you said, but and there's always been concern about vaccinations from certain communities that I will not name. But you can't know, unfortunately, about what it'll do because we can't do any testing really. If we want it to be able to be used in 2021, you'd have to waive a hell of a lot of testing between like animal trials and to human trials. Like you'd be skipping a lot of data, like because vaccines they usually take years to cultivate. Like as soon as a disease is noticed, it takes years to cultivate it. The only reason why we have any chance of making a vaccine this quickly would be because, well, with how quickly we learned the genome, that was pretty easy. Uh, since China released that, that helped us a lot probably with finding the genome and getting at least started on it. I think the only saving grace would be the fact that we kind of, at least a lot of governments kind of put a lot of their differences away to recognize that we needed to fix this before it became too big of a problem that we couldn't fix it. At least that was my hope with it.
I feel like that was a big hope with a lot of people too, that we didn't expect this pandemic, like how you mentioned, Jack,
Yeah.
to last such a flippin' long time. That we're still alive, and it could be a
Yeah.
whole lot worse. Like right now, obviously, us in California, we haven't had too much of an earthquake. We wouldn't have tornadoes, fortunately. And I know in different areas recently, there's a country, if not a state, that's going through a hurricane. So
Oh, really? Oh,
we're very
yeah.
blessed.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are.
I
Being
think
where we are, yeah.
you were gonna ask a question a while back before I cut you off. Do you remember? Do you still remember the question you want to ask, Nick?
Me, uh, what time did you cut me out? I don't remember, honestly.
I think we're talking about I think we're talking about New Year's, or it was a little before New Year's.
I don't remember, but getting back on to New Year's is probably a better idea than continuing to talk about this virus. Uh, yeah, but like, I have a question to both of you. Like, what are your usual plans that you would usually do on like New Year's Eve? Like, Mario, you know what we do, obviously, and I'll say it afterwards. But like to you too, like,
Well, my dad, he got a small, it was like a foreclosed, I don't know if it was foreclosed. It was more of like, it was, they were trying to get rid of it. It was a timeshare that my dad found in Hawaii a couple
oh
years
wow,
ago. And so we were going like every year for the past 2 or 3 years up until this year because my brother's football season got postponed till spring. So he's going to be practicing during Christmas time and stuff. So he has to stay back. So it's going to be fun. I mean, I haven't had Christmas at home in a few years. So I'm, really looking forward to that. But normally we would be in Hawaii and we would probably go out to like one of those outdoors style restaurants, have like family and stuff, and like, light off some fireworks, throw some poppets or whatever,
yeah.
that kind of thing.
Oh yeah, that always sounds fun. Like having family, like what we do in our family a little bit because it's every year on New Year's Eve. It's always my brother's birthday. My younger brother, Mario knows him. Like my younger brother Matthew, and I don't remember when it started. I think it started back when he was like
I want to say about maybe almost 6, 7 years ago. It's been a cool minute.
6.
Ruben was
Yeah,
wait,
It's
Ruben
really
was
cool.
born.
yeah. It was like, yeah. It's been a while now. It's been like 8, 9 years now. but it's been going on for a while. That every year we would go bowling, and it's been that way for almost a tradition now at this point
That's
that we do
awesome.
it. Like, and it doesn't matter how many people usually show up. Sometimes it's just the small family, like me, my mother, and brothers, or something like that. Or sometimes it's larger, and it's like me and like my entire like my mother's half of my mother's side of the family, basically, and then Mario and everyone else. Like sometimes it gets insane, and so it's always like so it's always something to look forward to. And I'm not sure what we're gonna do this year because bowling and everything is like closed. Like everything
Oh
is
man.
closed. So that's always the big thing, and it's like but it's like not gonna be the end of the world, obviously, but it's just kind of a everything this thing like puts off. It's like we just have to recognize that it's like nothing's gonna be the same for at least this year.
Yeah. So you said your family, your friends, and then half of Marta's family comes.
Yeah, basically, it always depends whoever wants to show up. Basically,
That's
like
awesome.
oh yeah, uh, I'm thinking what else.
It's interesting to you made a comment about things aren't going to be the same this year. I'm more thinking more futuristic. Like I'm interested in how things are going to be in the future because obviously
Mm.
going more on the kind of totally different topic with education that a lot of people are a lot of teachers are seeing and schools are seeing that this online experience is helping a lot of people.
Yeah.
Granted, there's a lot of downside though. In the future, this is definitely going to be something we're implementing like with Zoom with a lot more
Yeah.
technological use. So I'm interested to see if people are going to start changing traditions. Like obviously another thing too, Nicholas, I forgot this happened. We with our his brother and my stepdad, they played softball every year for about 50 years, isn't it, Nick? Do you know?
Oh
Wow.
my God, it's been going on in our family for years now. It's been
That's
like
awesome.
15, 20 years, I think. No,
Yeah,
longer than that, at least.
because
Like,
their dad, I think, good God, when I think they're a little, I think maybe 10 years older than us,
Hmm.
about 10
my,
years. They've been going since they
yeah.
were almost little. It's
Every year
amazing.
Oh
for
my
15.
God.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
it's been like, yeah, for Thanksgiving, it's what like we used to have like kind of thing. We would go to like my uh, dad's cousin's house, I believe. I don't remember exactly. They would like it had a bunch of laces. I remember it being really magical when I was a kid because they had a turkey in the back, and I would fucking chase that thing like nonstop. Like I don't remember. I think they killed it years later, but like I remember when I was younger, they had like a turkey in the back, and I thought it was the coolest thing ever because you don't see a turkey when you're in the city, basically. Like you
That's
never see those
awesome.
kinds of things. Uh, and then yeah, it's like it was like and softball, like that was another big thing. I don't know if we're even gonna do that this year. Do you know?
I, I honestly doubt it because obviously, if you think about a lot of the relatives are much older than us. They're in their 50s, 60s.
Yeah,
So.
Do you guys like
yeah.
Sandlot people?
We should. The
Oh
amount
my
of crap
God.
we talk to each other because most of us we don't see each
Hmm.
other. We only see each other once a year. So
Yeah.
there's so much crap we talk about. It's great.
That's awesome.
Oh my God, it's just always funny because I'll show up out there and there'll be people that it's like I for the life of me I will never be able to remember because I only see them once a year, but they'll have like perfect memory of me, like all the stories my dad told them. I'm like, holy hell, how did I not know this? It's like stories that I wouldn't even know about myself that when I was younger, and it's like they'll tell me I'm like, what really? It's like yeah, your dad told me. I was like, well, I'm gonna assume that's true because my dad probably wouldn't lie about that, but seriously. So it's always fun. Ugh.
That's funny. I like that.
Ugh. What else?
Makes me want to start a New Year's tradition now.
Definitely should.
Mhm.
The best way to start is now.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, immediately, I think 2021 is the year's like gonna be the year of resets probably, where everything's gonna be like we're gonna try and get everything back in order from the chaos of 2020.
It's gonna be 20. It's 2021 is gonna be 2020 part two.
I think that
Basically.
2021 is going to be good because like we will appreciate the things that we possibly took for granted before. and I think that we will do more consistently. Like, hey, I haven't done this in a while. I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna go here, do this, and this, and this, and then we're gonna like think of all these fun things to do consecutively, more so
Oh
than
yeah,
we've ever done, because we appreciate it more.
probably. Like I still want to go on a road trip. I've talked about it for years now, and I
Yeah,
still want to
dude.
do it.
I want to go on a road trip.
Just go get a good large either minivan or RV, something like that.
Oh yeah,
That's the goal.
RV.
Like get we have to split it with like 5-6 people and just like, but it's like that's a bunch of 20-year-olds. Who's gonna give a shit? I don't. How many 20-year-olds are gonna care really?
Get an
Of
RV.
like,
Huh?
oh no, like,
Get an RV, but then play like the movie RV in the RV
Oh, that would be awesome.
on the road trip.
on the road trip. The question is, it's like if we all live in California, obviously. So which way would you go? Like, obviously, we have to head east in some way. Like, there's no really real place to head west any farther. Unless
I would
you
either go east or southwest.
southwest.
Yeah, like Arizona, New Mexico, or Nevada, Utah, that direction.
Oh yeah,
Maybe
Yeah.
Montana. I don't know. I mean, there's a bunch
yeah,
of different ways
My-
that I could go.
yeah. You can always head to a bunch of different places. My always thought was heading like north, like because I always planned it as like a big road trip, not something like small, like something you take like a good chunk of time out of a year to actually go do, like to drive up and see something. Now that's always been my thought on like a road trip is.
Ooh, that's a good idea just popped up. So obviously there's 365 days in a year.
Yeah.
What if we spend those 365 days visiting 48 states? And if we want to go extreme, we can visit Alaska and Hawaii.
That would be incredible.
That is
That would be. Oh, that would be cool.
That would be
Just
My uncle has actually been to all 50 states.
yeah, because I ate.
Oh, yeah, he's also been to Puerto Rico too, so a couple of territories, or at least one of them.
what would you say his favorite state or territory would be after visiting
I don't know. I'd have to ask. Probably Arizona
Arizona?
or Minnesota because he lives in both.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Like interesting in Arizona, Minnesota, they have a huge accent. I actually want
Yeah,
to visit.
my dad's family, because my dad's from there. My uncle has a really thick accent, Minnesota accent, and that's my dad's family. They all have that like funny accent. It's pretty funny.
What about you, Mario? If you went on a road trip, where would you go?
For some reason, Rhode Island, the more
Northeast.
yeah, the more northeast, which is a little risky for me. Though I mean, I'm totally down. Like just to check out these cities. There's a lot of history that I'm unaware about,
Yeah,
and then the accents too. That's what I'm gonna suck it for.
yeah.
Definitely.
I would like to go like all the way across the U.S. though. That would be fun. Like, just pull the whole road trip from the absolute most eastern part of the U.S. to the absolute most western part. I'm gonna see if I can figure that out.
How about biking? My ASL professor actually did that. He biked from here, I think, to New York.
Holy moly! How long did that take?
I gotta ask him. I forgot. He said it was a good couple days.
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
Couple months.
What was it, Matthew? What Tommy rode from? I think like Texas to here or something like that, right? Can't remember. Chicago to here. Yeah. So my mom's cousin or our cousin from Norway, he rode from Chicago to here, I believe, from on a bike, like on the freeway and everything, like.
Yeah,
Yeah.
their family is very interesting.
I don't know the exact route, but yeah,
So what you gotta do?
Yeah.
On the side of the freeway.
Yeah, I think he almost got arrested because of it, because you're not supposed to ride bikes on the freeway, obviously, and so I think like a highway patrolman came up and was like, "Hey, you're not supposed to do that." And he said, okay, I'll make sure I won't. And then like he got off the bike and then he got back on like 10 minutes later.
That's amazing.
Wait, so was he in the actual car lanes, or was he on the side of
He
the?
was on the side, obviously, but it's like you're not supposed to be riding out there. You're supposed to just use a car, obviously.
Says who? Just get
But-
your wheels.
Kind of shocked he hasn't gotten multiple tickets in different states.
Well, he's from Norway, so they can't. So while they can, like, we'll give him tickets, obviously, but it's like most of the time they're gonna see a really like lanky white guy with blonde hair like riding a bike down a freeway. It's like, especially it's like when you're like you're not gonna you're gonna question. You're gonna be like, what the hell? Why is this guy on the freeway? And then you're gonna talk to him for a bit. You're gonna hear his foreign accent. Or I think what he said is that he legitimately just pretended like he didn't speak English.
Oh
I think
gosh.
like he just spoke straight Norwegian to them.
That works too.
Yeah, he did that, and they just like let him off because what are you gonna do? You're gonna deal with a foreigner that's riding a bike on the freeway. You're just gonna be like, you know what? This is too much. I'm just gonna go back to the station.
Just a waste of time. Yeah.
Isn't common to this side of the planet.
I can just picture someone like cops family like, oh, so what's the weirdest experience you have? Well, I talked to a person that was from Norway
On the freeway.
and he's riding his bike on the freeway.
He's like, oh yeah, what car was he driving? He wasn't driving a car.
Did he go the freeway the whole way from Chicago to here?
The whole from a freeway?
Yeah.
I'm not sure, honestly.
I don't know if there's a specific route.
The fact that he was able to make it all the way here.
Yeah, I think he had a friend with him that was driving a car like near him. No, he did it by himself.
It was just by himself.
He did do it. Oh wow, he did do it by himself. Yeah, I think he was planning to come back down here like earlier this year, but I think that completely got messed up from the virus and everything.
Oh,
But I think yeah, but we're planning to I'm planning to head over to what is it? Stockholm and in next June. I'm planning to do a cruise with July?
It's late June, early July.
Yeah, that was what I was thought. It was like late June, early July, right? Yeah, we're planning to go on a cruise up there, and so like my family, I think was Matthew and my mother are planning to stop in Norway like 3 days early to say hi.
Yeah,
And then,
no,
like-
we're gonna hang out in Norway for a few days before going on the cruise.
I'm still wondering whether I want to go out to Norway for a day just to say hi to everyone and then go, or if I want to just go straight to Stockholm.
That's
I
awesome.
think that I think the deciding factor is the ice cream, because the ice cream over there was way too good, honestly.
you gotta
Like
bring some back.
I really would, honestly. Like if I could legitimately like bring some, I would bring like a 10-gallon thing, like because the ice cream is too good. Like it was creamier than anything I've ever had over here.
I've heard about the Norwegian ice cream. Sounds sweet. Pun intended.
Yeah. How did we get to this topic again? I can't remember.
I
think-
New Year's, family, Thanksgiving.
I think we went on to family and then road trips and then bikes and then somehow.
Yeah. So speaking about New Year's, we should probably wrap it up. Is there any final thing, Jack or Nick, that you guys want to say?
I love this conversation. This is awesome. Hearing about biking from Chicago, because like I've thought about cool things to do like that in my lifetime. So I want to do something like that.
That'll be
Obviously.
fun.
Yeah, it'd be funny, it'd be hilarious. But like
Ugh.
working up to it, maybe like from here to, or from Reno to here or something, that kind of thing. Just smaller ones and then work your way up to bigger ones.
Yeah, to be honest, that's a whole lot of endurance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would be awesome. It's definitely something I'm going to do in my lifetime.
Yeah. Yeah. For me, like final thoughts. Well, I do love these chats. I feel like for the topic at hand, the remote holidays, I feel that they're not going to feel the same. They're going to be very similar holidays to what we know and love. they're just going to be slight changes to it that we can fit it into what we currently can do, and instead of what we want to do. So those are my final thoughts on the matter. What about you, Mario? Any final thoughts?
More than anything, just I think you mentioned it, Jack, or Nicholas, you mentioned it. That talks about like with everything going on for this upcoming year. There's so many things we missed out on, and now we have an opportunity to reset. We get to be grateful for what we have.
Yeah.
And that's what I feel like a lot of traditions are for. Like with Christmas, personally, I'm not a big fan of how people celebrate Christmas because it's all about gifts and stuff.
Yeah.
Where in actuality, it's family time. It's in Christianity and religious perspective, it's about Jesus.
Jesus, yeah.
It's just those traditions and how we find value in him. So I'm really excited, and I'm looking forward to see how this goes, and then also next year because we're in for 21st.
Yeah, I think what is it? The elections just came in finally, I think. Yeah, I didn't. I regret voting, honestly. I feel like I just should have. I should have just hunkered down and went to live with the mole people. That would have been a better choice.
Oh man, that's a whole other conversation. Though, should probably wrap it up. So
yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Well, I'll talk to you guys later, I guess, another day.
Nice meeting you.
See you, Nick, and I'll
See ya.
catch you guys later.
Bye.